everyone, how's the weekend going so far? Hope it's good. My name is Ifo and it's time for some news updates for you. Coming up in this episode of News Generation, teachers caught helping students cheat in the ongoing WASSCE examinations. It was the official last day of school on Thursday for many public schools. We tell you how one particular school in particular celebrated our day. And do you crack your joints? We find out whether it is good or bad to do it. It's going to be an exciting episode. Please stay with us. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid. We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vitarid.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only Cowbell with Vitarid puts you on the fast track.
You can find us on social media, Facebook at News Generation GH and on Twitter at NewsGenGH. Now, Joint News investigations has led to the arrest of 3 teachers of the Ejina Secondary Technical School in the Eastern Region. The teachers allegedly helped students to cheat in the ongoing WASSCE examinations. The teachers are said to have obtained the papers at the start of the examination so they can solve the questions and then supply the answers to the candidates. The group of teachers apparently sell the questions to schools through their teachers, and they charge as much as 1,000 Ghana cedis per paper. But the West African Examination Council, WAEC, says the questions that are being distributed are fake.
Yes, a few of such things have come to our notice. We've had some of the questions ourselves. We have checked them and realized that they are all not true. All the questions that have come to our attention so far are all fake. There are a number of fraudsters who are operating. We are aware of it, and they're going around schools collecting money from candidates and so on. They are doing it for economic reasons, and we only want to warn the general public to be aware of such persons.
So, what do you think about the need to obtain high grades without working for it? Here's what's up.
I think it's the educational system in West Africa, because people always think of how to get the best grades to go to the higher school. But in America, there is any grade you get, there is a school for you to go. So I think the West African countries should come together and better the educational system. And also the social media is killing students of nowadays. So anytime they go on social media to browse and do all manner of things. So they don't get time to learn. And also they think mommy or daddy will go and get me a pot to write my WASSCE. So that's why I think
in this 21st century, students of these days find it difficult in reading their books. They depend much on their phones and things. They don't concentrate much on their books. So they find any ways and means in getting to pass their examinations and things to obtain the best grades.
They spend much of their time on this social media because at the end, their friends end up sending them APO, which appears in the examination. And because every student wants to pass, they end up not learning, but they learn the APO to pass the exams.
Some of the officials at the WAEC office have their family members who are writing the exams. So they would like to help them. They won't like to make their family members feel. So what I think is that they'll get their APO and give it to them. And they also will not like to get it alone. They also want to share it with their friends. So if they share it with their friends will also share it with their friends, which will make it to leak.
Nowadays, students are very, very lazy. They don't want to spend their time reading or solving questions, and sometimes it's as a result of peer pressure. When you have a friend that is bad, goes out to clubs and those things, and that friend is rich, the parents might buy apple for him. So when you're also following him, you go out with him and spend most of your time instead of taking your studies serious.
Yeah, I think they should be educated on the effect. Let's say, for instance, if you are giving the apple and it didn't come in that day, it didn't come that you can fail your examination, and what you've done is just like cause 90.
I think there should be a tight security at the WAEC office to prevent questions from leaking, because most officials at the WAEC office are being bribed. Therefore, they end up giving out the questions to other people to learn them to pass, whilst other people learn hard.
There should be effective supervision on the workers, and any worker that is caught selling out apple should be criticized severely.
It's because of the unemployment rate. Some people will try to just write some questions and sell it to the students as apple. So if they get it and they use it and they go to the examination and it doesn't come, it will feel bad. Like some of them who don't have strong heart may faint. So I think we should motivate the students and also tell them the effect of apple.
Your views on WhatsApp. Now, Thursday was the official last day of school for public basic schools. Popularly referred to as our day, many pupils look forward to it because there's virtually no classroom work. There's a lot of playing, and it is a day they get to send special meals to school.
Thursday, April 23, marks the end of the second term for public schools across the country. The pupils of Liberty Avenue and Manchitaki cluster of schools are having fun because today is our day.
What is our day?
Our day makes us too happy.
So when we are coming to our day, our mothers and fathers cook for us, or our fathers will give our mothers money to cook for us to come to our day.
It looks like a competition of baskets filled with goodies the pupils don't often get. Some pupils take advantage of the extra money they get from their parents to buy toys for the holiday.
If we vacate and I go home, I can't play. So I bought the game to play at home.
The dressing on our day does not follow a strict rule, and so pupils can use their newly acquired attire, necklace, bracelets, rings, and most important of all, the colorful spectacles to add a touch of elegance. But as the time draws close for results of how they did in the end of term exams, the smiles on the faces of some of these pupils disappear. Primary 5 pupil Benedicta is not happy because her grades are not good.
They say I've not done well.
Better next time. Others in the same class are excited because they met their targets.
I work hard, I tried. I think my father will be happy about that.
You were first in mathematics.
Yes, madam.
But you were ninth.
Mathematics is my habit.
Okay.
Mathematics is my habit.
For Christopher Azotiba, he is not surprised he is first in mathematics, but he is not happy his family will only congratulate him verbally.
I'll get only praises, but I'll not get something. Then they expect me to get something, but for this one, they will not give me anything. Just thank you. You have done well.
As the pupils gather for the closing assembly, the teacher on duty did not mince words, warning them to stay out of trouble.
They sodomize most of the boys these days. The girls, the rapists, they are ready. So if you avail yourself, they will destroy you. Is that clear? Yes. Be obedient children. Take good care of yourselves. Give your report card to your parents. Don't go to beach. That is the last thing I'll tell you.
Despite the warning, my newfound friend, known by his peers as Shatawale, sent me off with some tunes.
She does me like a fire, I'm on like a so taking the eye like a fire, don't know my cooler like a flyer. She does way in the west every month, we in the west.
Mother Prince Lakwa.
They give me fever, because when the girl what I want to me like, give me fever, because
Most junior high school pupils on completing the BEC expect to go to senior high school. This ideal situation does not always go according to plan, and it's not just about the grades. Most students are actually forced to put their dreams on hold because their families may not have money. Ebenezer Sechi is one of them. This is Dorkochua in the Krabwa Kolta municipality of the Eastern region. It's Saturday and a market day. Traders and buyers are trying to do business. "17-year-old Ebenezer Sechi sells recharge cards for a living. He has been doing this for about a month, since March. Not only does he sell recharge cards, but also transfers credits on people's phones for a fee. Unlike most recharge card vendors who roam the streets, Ebenezer is stationed at this lorry station. He sells credits because he wants to further his education. He finished GHS last year and couldn't go to SHS because of financial problems. Though the money Ebenezer earns here is not enough, he prefers it to begging.
They paid me 70 Ghana and I earned some and used some to buy my clothes and the thing that I will need with SHS. I live with my parents and they also support me with my job where I'm doing.
Before he got into selling recharge cards, Ebenezer was farming.
Before I started selling the credit card, I was helping my parents in their farms. Since I started, I don't help them again.
Ebenezer is hopeful of making it to senior high school come September this year. He's already preparing himself. He's bought some of the items he will need. Ebenezer plans to keep working until his dream of going to senior high school is realized. Heard about the ongoing xenophobic attacks in South Africa? We'll explain it all to you after the break.
We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vita-Rich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with Vita-Rich puts you on the fast track.
Welcome back to News Generation. Remember, you can always catch up with us on social media. We're on facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. Now, leaders of the European Union have been meeting to plan how to deal with migrants. Thousands of people have crossed from Africa on boats to European countries. Over 1,500 people have drowned at sea. The world has been talking about the deaths of these migrants from Africa, including countries like Ghana.
Countries Italy and Malta are reportedly responding to distress calls from migrants on 3 sinking boats. The boats are on the Mediterranean Sea between Libya and Italy. In just 3 days, sinking boats have caused the death of over 1,000 migrants who are trying to reach Europe. As of Sunday, April 19, the death toll for 2015 had already reached about 1,500 people, 10 times more than what it was at the same time last year. And in just the past few days, 10,000 migrants have been rescued by Italy's Coast Guard and other boats between the waters of Italy and Libya. The International Organization for Migration says the number of migrants who have successfully reached the Italian coast since the beginning of 2015 is just over 21,000. Most of these refugees are fleeing conflicts in some parts of Sub-Saharan Africa and the Middle East. Some of you believe it's all due to hunger and poverty, which has made life difficult for them in their respective countries.
Some people leave their country to go to Europe because of their unemployment rate in their country. Okay, I'm going to use Ghana for instance. Here in Ghana, our unemployment rate is very high, and the individuals are more than the jobs in Ghana. So I think government to create more job opportunities so that the individuals cannot leave their country to other countries for maybe to work.
I think people do that because the other legal means of transportation to other countries is very high and expensive. So they tend to take illegal means by taking the ship and other methods to take to the other countries.
The war-torn countries, some people just leave their country because maybe they think they'll die because there's war in their country. They leave to other countries because they want to seek peace in that country.
The unemployment rate in Ghana is very high, so like people tend to go to other countries to seek greener pastures there. And as they are going, they don't have any capital with them, so they tend to take illegal means to travel over there.
I think it's because of the good environment that they hear those in other countries enjoy. So they like to enjoy the same environment, no matter the risk they take.
But the route from Libya to Italy is only one of the several migrants fleeing Africa and the Middle East take to get to Europe. Some of you say peace and development are the ways to go in preventing the illegal migration and the unfortunate deaths of thousands from the continent.
I think we should create job employment, and also we should also encourage individuals that life in Europe is not that easy as they think it is, because the conditions of services and living in Europe is very expensive. And also the job opportunities they think is there is not like that.
I think Africa must unite and become one so that we can create a global community of Africa, so that the transport of goods and services, so we can share ideas, that Africa can become more developed and modernized.
We should enhance the security in Ghana and Africa as a nation. And also Africa should also be boosted in some military facilities, so that the environment will be safer and more secure.
Meanwhile, there are concerns that European countries are letting the way they feel about immigration hinder their rescue efforts. Most people who live in Europe are unhappy when people migrate there. This means there is extra pressure for their jobs and pressure on their infrastructure systems.
South African shops in Malawi have been closed. People decided not to buy from the shops anymore because of what is happening to their fellow citizens in South Africa. No new attacks have been reported in the South African country after at least 7 people died due to xenophobic violence. But in case you've missed what all this talk about xenophobia is about, here's a short explanation.
Xenophobia. 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 According to the Oxford Dictionary, xenophobia is a strong feeling of dislike or fear of people from other countries. Xenophobic attacks are violent attacks by citizens against foreign nationals living in their country. Xenophobic attacks have been ongoing in South Africa since last week. At least 6 people have been reported to have died.
Has South Africa had xenophobic attacks before?
Yes. In January, businesses owned by foreigners were burned by thieves. In 2008, dozens died in anti-immigrant tensions in Johannesburg. And in 2006, xenophobic violence broke out in Cape Town for several months. A lot of people, including South Africans, have condemned the violence. Apparently, it is happening because some South Africans are accusing other Africans of taking their jobs.
Let's listen to some of your friends in South Africa. They tell us what they think about the xenophobic attacks there.
Well, what I think about xenophobia is basically it's not right in the way that they're violating people.
These xenophobic attacks, they're very disturbing. It's not nice to see someone getting violated in a public place and there's nothing you can do about it.
Xenophobia is not good at all. It's not good violencing people. Okay, it's fine when you tell them to leave your country, but don't violence them. Tell them in a better way, you know. People are getting hurt out there.
I believe I'm a bit for it, but I'm not entirely for it because there are some people who are affecting our economy. Like, for example, people who stay in South Africans' residence while they've come from their country, which is entirely wrong.
What are we supposed to learn from those black people out there who violate these people from other countries?
I feel xenophobia is not really a good thing, like for us in general, for us a growing generation, because it's hurting more people and more families are losing their loved ones because of this, because us South Africans cannot accept that we have to have brothers from other countries to come and have a better living in South Africa.
And well, there are those people though that uplift our economy and make us a better South Africa.
So I think it brings terror and trauma to us in general, young people, old people, young kids. So I think it's best that we keep away from xenophobia and be good and accept one another as one.
Do you crack your joints? We'll be finding out whether that's good or bad after the break.
We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vita-Rich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with Vita-Rich puts you on the fast track.
And you're still watching News Generation. Now, do you crack your joints? Many people do. For some, it's even a habit. But could it have an effect on your health? I want to find out.
Do you do this? This? Or this? Well, many Ghanaians, both young and old, do it. It's called cracking your joints.
I feel like doing it, that's why. I crack it to stretch my hand so that I will not feel any pain.
Sometimes I feel pain and I feel like doing it.
Because of the sound.
I feel like anytime I'm there, I feel like cracking.
Maybe if I'm doing work and maybe I'm carrying something that is heavy, after doing it I can stretch or crack it.
When I feel my hands are heavy, I do them, I crack them.
Oh, this is... it's painful. I don't know how you guys do it, but I used to crack my knuckles when I was in school. I saw my friends do it, and so I thought it was cool to do it. But I've since outgrown it. I haven't done it in a while. Anyway, a lot of people continue to crack their knuckles and other joints. So we're here at the Chiropractic and Wellness Center to find out if it's okay to crack your joints or not. Come with me. Dr. Courtney Brown is a chiropractor. This means he's a doctor that treats disorders of the bones, muscles, and the joints. So he's an expert on telling us all about cracking your joints. So, Dr. Brown, please tell us what makes joints crack.
Joint cracking. A lot of people, I've heard it all the time that, when you crack the joint, especially the finger joint, it makes them feel good. Now, in your joints, you have what we call a membrane, synovial membrane to be correct. Synovial membrane, within that membrane, you have fluid. It's called synovial fluid. So within the joints, like let's say the finger joints, right? You have fluid in the joints. So when you say crack your joints, or you bend it to one side, right? The fluid will move from side to side depending on which side you move it. And when it moves, it make a popping sound, right? So if I can do mine now, and you hear that, there it is. You hear that popping sound. So the synovial fluid is moving from side to side and make that popping sound. When you crack your knuckles, here are some of the things that can actually happen. Your joints get weaker, right? The membrane around the joints start to become looser. When the membrane becomes looser, the fluid, the synovial fluid, will leak out. So when the membrane and the ligament also, because between your joints you have ligaments preventing the joints from touching. So the ligaments start to wear down. When the ligament wear down, what happens? The bones will start to get closer together. The bones start to touch and start to make that grinding sound, and that can be painful.
Apart from the knuckles, which a lot of people crack, are there any other joints that people crack?
What I see some people do, and this is also could be a habit, people will turn to crack their neck. They do this. Not good.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, there is hope for people who crack their knuckles. If it's habit, what you want to do is, get some help. There is a technique, what's called EFT. It's a type of psychological acupressure that they use to, it's kind of like if you have a smoking habit, you go to the professionals and they will help you quit that habit. So the same thing for knuckle cracking. It sounds a way, but you have solution for almost every condition you can think of.
So next time you crack your joints, think about future health implications. Your hands, neck, and other joints need to last your lifetime.
And the News Generation team would like to thank Emmanuel Kwabna Brain, who goes to Adisadel College in Cape Coast. He sent us a message on Facebook asking if it was good or bad to crack your knuckles. I hope we've answered your question. Now remember, if you have anything you want us to find out for you on the show, please let us know. We're on facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. Now let's catch up with some more news in a roundup before we go.
The West African Examination Council says it would carefully examine schools suspected to have cheated in the ongoing WASSCE exams. This follows a Joy News report which led to the arrest of 3 teachers in the Eastern region for allegedly helping students to cheat in the exams. Hip life artist Kwao Kese has been released from prison. He was jailed for a day and ordered to pay a fine of 1,200 Ghana cedis. The Abodam rapper was arrested in December for allegedly smoking weed in public. Asamoah Gyan is expected in the country for the WBA International Lightweight Championship bout being hosted by his Baby Jet Promotions this weekend. The Al Ain ace requested his club to enable him travel to Accra for the bout on Friday. Baby Jet Promotions staged their latest boxing bout at the tennis court of the Accra Sports Stadium. Gyan's boxer Emmanuel Tego fought Filipino de los Reyes. The 3rd annual happiness survey has been released and Switzerland is most happy. However, Togo has topped the list of the world's least happy countries. Burundi, Syria, and Benin follow. Where does Ghana rank? Number 114 out of 158 countries.
So that's it for this edition of News Generation. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can always find us on social media. It's facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. We are also on Twitter @newsgengh. Write to us, tell us what you like about the show. If you have any interesting story ideas you'd like us to look into for you, you can also let us know, all on our Facebook page. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.
News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.